Mes amis, Timblezi TV, moi, aujourd'hui, nous entrons dans une crise qui est plus grave dans la politique mondiale dans les dernières années. Depuis quelques jours, en pile, nous connaissons qu'il y a un conflit qui est déjà bouilli pendant plusieurs dizaines d'années entre États-Unis et Iran. Avions de guerre, missiles balistiques, drones, kamikazes, ak menaces capables de bouleverser tout Moyen-Orient déjà sous table. Mais question en pile, mon a posé journée aujourd'hui à Timblezi TV, moi, sur les réseaux sociaux, c'est pas seulement qui moun qui pral gagner guerre, mais plutôt, est-ce que États-Unis t'es déjà entré dans la guerre, il pas qu'à contrôler encore? Est-ce que Iran paraît pour faire toute bagaille, même si ça a mené dans une grosse guerre régionale, ou soit même une guerre mondiale? Eh bien, dans le moment, on n'a pas de la Timblezi TV, en pile américain déjà accepté que les États-Unis perdent la guerre. Yo gen tan mette au prêt parce que d'après yo même yo fait connaître que depuis sous 2 jours guerre était supposé gen entente tout bagay était doit fini et nous déjà connaît que c'est dans fin mois février 2026 les États-Unis ensemble avec allié Israël lancé une grosse attaque militaire sous plusieurs sites militaires ak nucléaires en dans Iran. Président Ted Zonge lui-même il fait connaître que opération ça yo fait pour empêcher Iran de développer des armes nucléaires, changer de direction gouvernement iranien, éliminer menaces Iran sur alliés américains dans la région. Mais réponse Iran, nous tous connaissons qu'elle pas de printemps. Iran lance plusieurs vagues missiles à drone sous base américaine. Position militaire Israël, quelques installations dans le pays Golfe. Et il y a même rapport qui montre Iran frappe une base navale américaine Bahreïn, côté flotte américaine basée. Et ça fait conflit entre dans une nouvelle phase. Et tout même, Ted Zonge fait connaître que Iran doit mettre à genoux. Parce que lui-même n'est pas descendre devant Iran, c'est Iran même qui pour venir paraître devant le demander pardon parce que c'est ce pays devant. Et Ted Zonge prend une position qui très Timblezi TV. Il déclare clairement que pas aucune négociation, pas aucun compromis. Seule condition pour la guerre finie, d'après lui-même, Iran doit rendre tête sans aucune condition, doit mettre à genoux, doit demander pardon. Et Ted Zonge même menacé pour lui augmenter l'attaque. Si le pays Iran continue à frapper très fort, si on continue à résister, il fait qu'on est qu'il a frappé plus fort toujours. Et pas bon côté iranien, il fait qu'on est qu'il n'y a pas de jamais à genoux. Et le président iranien fait un discours, côté il dit clairement que demande aux États-Unis pour Iran rendre tête, il mettait à genoux. Ça, c'est un rêve qui pas jamais réalisé. Les États-Unis doivent retirer ça dans la tête, il pas comme ça. Et côté Iran déclaré que yo paré pour goumen, yo paré pour sacrifier, et puis yo pas de jamais à genoux devant aucun pays. Et message là simple, Timblezi TV, Iran préfère goumen jusqu'à ce que yo mouri au lieu de rendre tête pour y mettre à genoux pour y demander pardon. Et expert militaire yo dit que ça qu'apparaît seulement en deux pays yo, il est capable d'élargir dans Libanon, Syrie, Irak, Saoudi Arabia, United Arab Émirats parce que Iran gagne pile groupe allié dans la région. Ça veut dire Timblezi TV n'importe attaque capable de provoquer nouveau missile, attaque sous base américaine, attaque sous bateau l'huile. Et en pile monde a demandé qui ça qui arrivé à l'économie mondiale là parce que en pile l'huile monde là parce que dans Strait of Hormuz si Iran t'a bloqué passage ça, prix gaz là, il a explosé, marché financier a tombé et en pile pays a entré dans crise économique. Et malgré gros pouvoir militaire États-Unis, il y a quelques rapports américains qui déjà averti que même une grosse attaque pas nécessairement qu'a fait gouvernement Iran tomber. Si nous voulons comprendre, nous comprendre. Ça veut dire la guerre qui a duré longtemps, vient plus compliqué et puis coûter en pile la vie. Le président de la Russie lui-même, qui c'est Vladimir Poutine, il pas arrêté en silence sous conflit. Il fait connaître que il compte n'importe attaque militaire qui fait sans négociation et puis il y a averti que augmentation de la guerre capable de mener dans le monde là dans une crise qui n'est pas facile pour contrôler. Poutine fait connaître que la Russie supporte diplomatie au lieu de la guerre, n'importe essayer d'écraser pays Iran militairement, capable de déstabiliser toute région. La Russie lui-même n'y paraît pour défendre l'intérêt dans le Moyen-Orient si la guerre a élargi. Et analyse militaire, il fait connaître que la Russie pas entrer direct dans la guerre, mais elle est capable de support militaire ou soit technologie, puis aider pays Iran dans la question stratégie et défense. Et ça fait un pile expert quoi qui conflit à venir tourner, en gros confrontation entre gros pouvoir mondial et pas bon côté la Chine lui-même. Il prend position claire dans la question. Côté président, fait connaître que la Chine oppose à n'importe action militaire qui augmente les tensions. Il déclare que le conflit a de résoudre par dialogue et négociation parce que stabilité Moyen-Orient est important pour l'économie mondiale là avec marché énergie. Et Timblezi TV ça est important pile parce que la Chine c'est un plus gros client l'huile Iran. Si la guerre est élargie, la Chine a perdu accès à l'huile, l'économie mondiale là a souffert. C'est peut-être ça la Chine a poussé pour pour yo suspendre la guerre bien rapide. Et grand pile analyse qui fait qu'on est que conflit a continuer augmenter. La Russie a vinn supporter Iran plus fort. Et la Chine lui-même ni ka vinn faire pression sur États-Unis diplomatiquement. Et puis monde là lui-même li capable entrer dans un nouveau bloc pouvoir tant qu'au époque guerre froide là. Et dans un scénario extrême, conflit a même râler plus pays dans la guerre, changer balance pouvoir mondial là. Mes amis, tu me dis moi question pas seulement Iran contre États-Unis encore. Parce que dès Iran a un gros pouvoir tant que la Russie avec la Chine qui déjà fait qu'on est que yo pas prêt de garder si balance pouvoir mondial a changé, il a pas entré dans le dossier ça. En tout cas, Tim Lazy TV, moi, tête chargée, bagay yo pile sous pile problème, à monter à 100 pour te quelques vidéos pour nous, m'a quitter nous ensemble avec vous. En tout cas, on continue, mais c'est toute belle Tim Lazy TV, qui est toujours là pour supporter travail, ça, qui est toujours là pour bailler love, qui est toujours là pour partager vidéo, à chaque fois, m'a posté. Tim Lazy TV, moi, big up pour nous, moi, nous, en pile. Et nous-mêmes, tout qui pas la peine de tomber sur plateforme, ça, qui c'est Lazy TV. N'a pas invité au une belle team, ça, qui c'est belle Tim Lazy TV, parce que nous parlons de toute sa actualité. Abonnez à la page, follow page, mon cas toujours au courant de tout ça, passer Lazy TV, moi, bisous.
Handmaiden in this unlawful, illegal, immoral, unfeasible military operation. The United States has already lost this war.
Do elaborate. So let's get into that. You spoke about where we are at day 5. Explain to the audience where you believe we're at day 5 and why you believe that the United States of America has lost.
Well, think about domestically. Back in June, the President of the United States, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Secretary of Defense, and the Secretary of State all told the American people that we utilized all of our B-2 bombers. We put ourselves in great strategic risk. We utilized half of the entire strategic munitions assets that we have that the B-2 bombers utilize. And we did it all at great risk, but we obliterated Iran's nuclear capability. And yet here we are in February, launching a full-on attack. And the President of the United States and the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of State and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs together, even if they were in the same room, can't get their story straight. Why? And then you have Marco Rubio coming out and saying, well, we struck because we knew that Iran was going to strike back, because we knew that Israel was going to strike. And if Israel struck and Iran struck back, then we had to preempt the strike to preempt the strike for the strike that may not have happened had Israel not struck. That is how Secretary Rubio explained it. Is it confusing? Oh, it is confusing. But it boils down to one thing. We're fighting this war for Israel, not for U.S. interests, not for U.S. security. And so why I think we've lost this war already strategically, our narrative is all over the place. Why are we fighting it? What's the end state? What's the objective? We don't know. Is it nuclear proliferation? Well, I thought we already obliterated their nukes or their capability to produce nukes. But now it's not their nuclear capability. It's the annihilation of their conventional munition stocks, because that was a curtain against their actual nuclear ambitions, of which the United States intelligence community and the international intelligence community have all said that there was no indications or intentions that Israel or that Iran was pursuing a nuclear capability, and certainly they weren't, quote unquote, a week away from having it, for sure. This was not an imminent threat. And we went into it without proper planning, without proper resourcing. We did not, and I'll tell you, the wars of Iraq and Afghanistan were also immoral, unethical, and illegal without political objective. But at least the presidents at the time of those wars put together a coalition of forces to go in. At least there was buy-in. There's no coalition here. We went in alone, only with Israel, and Israel will leave us high and dry. Here's how the math doesn't work for us in our favor. Iran produces 300 one-way drones, Shahed drones, Variant 1, their older variant, and Variant 3, their variant that cannot be jammed by GPS, that can penetrate. And they have 80,000 in stock, and they can produce 300 a day. For every one of those drones that flies into the airspace, whether it's protected airspace over a U.S. base in one of the Arab nations, or into Israel, or as we saw all the way into Cyprus and in the UK base. For every interception, the United States or Israel, depending on who's firing it, fires a $12 million interceptor missile. So sometimes it takes 2 or 3. So for every one $20,000 to $30,000 Shahed drone, we're spending 24 to 36 million to take it out. And when we don't take it out, and when they get a direct hit, what do we see? The entire navigation radar system that we utilize to protect the entire region gone in the first few hours of the strike by one hit. Israel underestimated the stock and the strategy and the depth and the resolve of Iran. And there's no turning back. We crossed a red line of which there is no turning back. We didn't just kill the commander of the IRGC. We didn't just kill the president. We killed the Ayatollah, who is not only the monarch, but is also the theocratic crown of Shia Islam, much like the Pope is to Catholicism. We have crossed a red line that cannot be uncrossed, and Iran will not stop. And they don't have to, because they are prepared for this. The munitions that they are now utilizing are still just base stock to get the United States and Israel to deplete theirs. And then once they're depleted, they will start using the ones that actually bring in a lot of devastation. The Fatah 3 and 4, Variant 5 hypersonics. We've already seen some hypersonics used, not their most advanced. It's coming. This big surprise that the president has promised. Here's the reality. We do not have the ability to penetrate with our B-2 bombers, nor with the munitions that a B-2 bomber would need for precision strikes, because we don't have any more. So now we're utilizing the B-1 Lancer and the B-52. Both of these bombers drop massive tonnage of munitions, but they aren't guided munitions. They're carpet bombing. They're dumb bombs. Imagine what you saw, what we could see in World War II with the carpet bombing, or Vietnam with Operation Linebacker and the carpet bombing of Cambodia. These are not precision munitions. And quickly, we will run out. And quickly, the United States and Israel will lose popular support from around the world because of what we're doing. And soon, more Americans will start coming home in body bags, in flag-draped coffins, and America's not going to stand for it. And that's not far off. We're weeks away from depleting our stock, and Iran can keep going. And we've already seen today that the Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, through back channels, has already called to beg Trump. Does Iran want to talk? Does Iran want to talk? Because they're getting pummeled, and it is only going to get worse. Strategically, the United States has already lost this war.
And then we broadcasted here, and we said, they're ready, and Trump believes this nonsense. So he was told, if you decapitate the regime, you bring down Khamenei, the people will rise up. He actually believed this. And then he bragged about it. Openly bragged about how I am tracking Khamenei. He should leave the country because I'm going to kill him. Does he not understand that Ali Khamenei volunteered to die on the first day of the war? Ali Khamenei was at home in his residence, knowing he was being hunted down by the United States, knowing he was being targeted by death. He was surrounded by fellow Shaheeds who also knew that they were going to die, but they also understood that there was a purpose in their death, because by dying, they entered into martyrdom. And the Iranian people are in the streets, but they're not shouting death to Khamenei. They're shouting long live the martyr Khamenei. That's why we lost the war on day one. This was a trap set by the Iranians on day one by a people of faith, Donald Trump wouldn't even know what a Shia is or what a Twelver is. He doesn't know who Hussein is. He doesn't know who Ali is. He has no clue what the Battle of Karbala is. And yet he fell into a trap where all of this is relevant. He assassinated or facilitated the murder of the second most important man in the Shia faith, Ali Khamenei. This is the equivalent of killing the Pope if you're Catholic, killing the Archbishop of Canterbury if you're British, killing the head of the Orthodox Church, Kirill, if you are Russian. And Donald Trump doesn't understand this. If the purpose of this operation was to get the Iranian people in the street, Donald Trump succeeded. But he got the wrong people in the street for the wrong cause. The people of Iran today are rallying in support of the Islamic Republic. The Islamic Republic is invincible at this moment because you can't kill people who are ready to die for their cause. And the Shia of Iran who are defending the Islamic Republic are prepared to a man, to a woman, to become martyrs in the cause of their faith. And it is the Islamic Republic of Iran that they are defending, not just their land, not just their culture, not just their history, but their faith. Donald Trump lost this war, the first missiles that impacted the ground in Tehran.
I don't like to be right in this situation. They're going to bring it here. I just read an article about 9 people shot in Ohio. This isn't the Austin, Texas massacre. This is 2 days in a row. We let these people in. We can blame the administration. We can blame Sleepy Joe. We can blame the Democrats. We did nothing. Start to pray. Read Psalm 91 and realize that that is a promise from God. God is not a man that he could lie. That's also directly quoted from the Bible. If you're a believer, know Psalm 91. These days can't be stopped, and I want to see my daughters get married. I want to enjoy whatever time he has given me, returned to me. We want our retirements. We want our vacations. There's nothing wrong with any of this. We're human. But if you are not praying with regularity that you haven't experienced before, man, you're in deep trouble. Build that relationship. You're running out of time. The expression, they weren't good when times were good, is going to hold. What will they be when times are bad? Don't be one of them. If you are a Christian, you're going to have to walk that walk. So start praying for revival. Simple prayers. At any moment during the day, Holy Spirit, please create a revival in Iran, throughout the Middle East. Come, create the revival. Save souls. It's not the Iranians. We say that. We don't really mean it. This time we mean it. Did you see their celebrations? An article I read was 78 or 79% of them want out from underneath this demonic religion. In the meantime, keep your head on a swivel and know this is shades of 1970. Vietnam could not win unless they took to the jungles. They're going to do that here. But those jungles will be the bridges, the tunnels, the sporting events, the bars, anywhere a lot of clueless people are gathered. Pray against it. Those things don't have to happen. The end of days will. Pray that you're in the right place at the right time. And pray for your family members. Guys, this is real. It's real. Sad. But it is. And we brought it on ourselves. I'm not just talking about immigration. I'm talking about us ignoring our creator, chasing every other little shiny thing. I was guilty of it too. Start your prayer. Start it today. I was cutting the lawn. Yeah. It was the end of February. I wanted to get the leaves off of it. I don't even own the place, but I want it to be some place that I enjoy. And the news came in that the entire senior leadership had been removed. Why do we say unalived? They were killed. And I remember thinking, so many Americans are just going to celebrate this and not realize that was just Act 1. Act 2 will be here. Pray against it. Pray for protection for our servicemen and women, for this country, for the ones you love, and for the unsaved. I meant for this to be a 2-minute job, but this is real. You are almost out of time.